What's going on, Rome?
Well, good morning, Andy.
Good morning.
You look like you're in a blizzard or something. You
It's
cold?
cold. It's cold this morning.
Yeah, you're cold.
I sleep with the windows
Look at me. I'm
open too.
like here. I am like
I know. I know. I sleep with the windows open, so
at home.
yeah.
Oh my god, I
Well,
can't do that. So when I go home, I zack it up to like 75,
yeah.
and then when I leave it at like 70.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to have it too hot
Oh
for no
no,
reason.
no.
Nobody there.
But I like it warm at night. I don't know how the hell you open up the windows. And then do you wear a coat while you're sleeping?
I'll wear a shirt sometimes, but I just like the cool air. It helps me sleep better.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Hey Andy, I want to get right in, and I want to talk about a little bit about the right investment. And there's no such thing as a one size fits all investment strategy for saving for your retirement. And what might be a great strategy for one person might not be great for the other.
True.
So, luckily, there's a wide variety of retirement investments that are available in the market.
Mhm.
And there's bound to be at least one that will suit others' needs. And people have been investing in gold directly or indirectly for thousands and thousands of years. And you can invest actually in physical gold, gold stocks, gold mines, gold mine ETFs, like exchange traded funds. And the list goes on and on. And the here at United Gold Group, we've been helping clients diversify their portfolios and plans for many years now. And we believe in actually educating the people about investing in precious metals. So let me give you guys a look at some really valuable information about investing in gold for your retirement. And, you know, there are a lot of terrific reasons to buy gold. And it's got a fantastic track as a hedge against inflation, as you hear me talk about a lot of time. And it has a tendency to either hold its value or increase in value as time goes on. So like I said, you can always exchange it for more value later on, right? And the same is true of gold's reaction when it comes to the stock market. And so when stocks plummet, gold generally goes the other way and holds its value or increases in value. And because there isn't a huge correlation between gold and specific markets, gold always tends to stay fairly steady in value because metals like copper are linked heavily to electronics production and construction. So if there were less demand for housing and electronic devices, then the price of copper would, of course, decrease. And gold does not have that problem. So people invest in gold during times of when they're uncertain, like uncertainty, because gold is seen as being fairly stable. And because of this, the price of gold often goes up during times of uncertainty. And investing in gold when there is a danger of currency losing its value or collapsing altogether is a great way to maintain your wealth while you wait for these things to stabilize. In other words, go back to normal. So I've been saying this for a very long time. You can always get in and you can always get out. And when you get out, you get out. When you do get out, you exchange it for more value later on. I know I've been, in gold and silver now for over 40 years.
Wow.
I got coins that date back in the 1800s. In fact, I was a really nice guy, and I gave this new client yesterday because she listens to Clyde Lewis, my good friend over at Ground Zero, and radio. And I gave Michelle, I know you're watching, but I gave Michelle a beautiful um, Indian head penny dated back into the 1800s yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great gift.
It's worth about $35-40.
Yeah.
But it's a penny. That's a penny, right?
That's a pretty good investment. 1 cent. Now it's $40.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, you can always exchange this stuff for more value later on. And there are so many ways that a person can actually invest in gold. And each has its pros and its cons to it. And it just comes down to what strategy is most in line with your goals. So we have what we call a gold IRA, and many savvy investors have opened their gold IRA accounts. And gold IRA accounts allow you to contribute pre-tax money toward the purchase of gold bars or coins. And because the IRA contribution is pre-tax, in other words, you don't pay taxes, it's tax deferred, you can use the contributions to pay less in taxes when it comes time to file, right? And most 401ks don't allow for purchasing of precious metals. However, rolling your 401k into a gold IRA couldn't be easier. So this is an indirect way of investing in gold. Now let's talk about gold ETFs, exchange traded funds. Well, they're composed of a number of different gold-related stocks seeking to mimic the performance of actual gold. So investing in gold ETFs is considered one of the fastest ways to get into gold investing. And for those people who aren't comfortable investing in physical gold, then gold ETFs are a good route for you to go to. Now, unlike ETFs, purchasing physical gold is the most direct way you have to invest in gold. It's easy enough to just buy either purchasing gold online that ships to you, or going to a precious metals dealer and buying it in person. And of course, processing physical gold comes with some added responsibility. Keeping your gold investment safe and secure falls on you. And some people keep their gold in a safe, others pay a third party to store their gold for them. So there's plenty to learn about investing in gold, but not to worry, there's no reason you have to figure it all out on your own. So whether it be an IRA, physical gold, or any other options at your disposal, there is a gold-based investment strategy that is perfectly suited for you and for your retirement savings needs. And the United Gold Group has been helping new and veteran gold investors plan for their financial futures for many years now. So if you're interested in taking the next step toward using gold to plan for your retirement, then contact us at 800-753-8534, or you can even call me direct on my direct trade line, and that number is 323-380-5485. You can ask for myself, you can ask for Andy, you can ask for Robert, you can ask for Frank. There's so many of us here. There's like 15 total. And the other thing that we can send out to you free of charge, and we can send it out either by email or mail, whatever. We prefer to do email. That way we keep our costs down on mailing. But you can actually ask us for our asset protection guide. And the asset protection guide is a great manual that has a wealth of knowledge that I've put together, that the other brokers put together, that we send out to you so that you can make your decision. Remember, do you want control or do you want no control? It's like a scale. Me, myself, Andy, I'm sure we all like control. We don't want the government controlling us, telling us how we got to spend, where we got to spend. Go ahead. You got something to say.
Yeah, well, you mentioned with the gold ETFs, and that's a quick way you could jump right in and get exposure to the gold market, gold price movement. But the fact is, with the ETF, you don't have any ownership of that ETF in terms of gold, right? You're basically investing in something that tracks the price of gold. But if there was some situation where you actually needed a physical currency, you don't have any,
That's right.
and that's you may not be able to get your funds in certain situations from the brokerage if there's a liquidity crisis, which it looks like there very well may be at some point. So if you don't have the physical, anything could happen.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you actually own it, that that it's yours, that you can exchange it for more value later, because a piece of paper, well, it can go up in flames,
Exactly.
right? And if there's something wrong, like if there's mismanagement at the mining company, or the mining company ends up having to file bankruptcy, guess what? Bye-bye. But I know that if I at least have that coin or bar or what have you in my possession or in a vault that is protecting me and is insuring me along with the insurance of my metals, I have no doubt of having precious metals in my portfolio. Hey, Andy, I want to back away from that in a minute. And here's the reason you want to have metals in your portfolio. I have said this almost every day now. Massive layoffs, blah, 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 blah. Talking about, I said it again. I said it yesterday that you're going to see massive layoffs. We're going to see layoffs like we saw back when there was COVID and there was this pandemic and we all got locked down. And, and now there is no pandemic and there is no lockdown, but guess what? We're seeing numbers now that are mind-boggling. Microsoft, Amazon, Andy, this morning, they're now set to erase 28,000 more jobs as this tech slump keeps getting deeper. What does that tell you? Where do these 28,000 people go to find a job? What kind of jobs are they working? Are they in the factory? Are they in the sandwich line? Are they in the commissary? I mean, where
I think
are
they're all going to go into podcasting, actually. There are going to be a lot more podcasts, right?
Oh, Lord, you mean on the streets?
As if we don't have enough. But, yeah, that's a huge number. And it seems to be consistently flowing now. The jobs, almost every tech company has announced some form of layoffs.
It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And like I said, you're going to see layoffs, and it's going to look like COVID, but it's not COVID. And the reason that these layoffs are happening is because the economy is shutting itself down. That's exactly what's happening. And, I mean, look at today. They're voting on the debt ceiling. Now, they either raise it or they keep it where it's at, and they start taking away and chipping away at a lot of the government's expenses. Well, Janet Yellen has been yelling that she can handle, but she has to do extreme measures until June. So I don't know, me personally, I don't expect them to make a decision today. They know they got till June. So I don't expect them to make a decision today. So be very careful with your market, with your stocks and bonds, things sort of like these, because you saw it yesterday. At the end of the day, it ended up dumping down 600 and some odd points. It was down 200 this morning. The futures were down all night last night. We were up a little, but then they went back down. But I want to share something with you that I've been talking about, and I've been talking about it. And the Central Bank of China now kicks off a new round of gold accumulation. And after more than 3-year hiatus, China's central bank, which is the People's Bank of China, is back now on the scene, claiming what they bought of this monthly gold purchases. And while one swallow does not make a summer, maybe two do. And now, for the second month of its succession, China has released data showing the significant additions to the People's Bank of China's monetary gold holdings. So that right there should tell you something, that what China's doing right now with this increased gold reserves could be the start of the new monthly trend by China in announcing their monetary gold accumulation. And there were monthly additions between December 2018 and September 2019. So, they're preparing. They're preparing, Andy, for what? What do you think?
I think they're preparing for some kind of major economic crisis or collapse, currency collapse of the dollar.
Why?
And I think they're preparing also to back their currency to some degree with gold. We don't know how much. I don't know if it would be 100% back, but to a certain degree, they're going to back it with gold. And
For sure.
If you have a gold-backed currency competing with another currency that's not gold-backed and it's not petrodollar-backed, then it's going to be obvious how people want to move their money. And Russia's doing it, and China's doing it. The exodus from the dollar is here. It's happening. We've been talking about it for months, and it's here. It's going to be a major shift. Ray Dalio was talking about it just yesterday. He's been talking about it for a while, and it's a whole economic reconfiguration. And I think having precious metals will be a great way to anchor yourself and protect yourself. You were talking about the stocks doing badly last year.
Yeah.
And we know that the NASDAQ was down over 30%. S&P was down 20%. Gold was, I think, up 1%.
Right.
So
right. It was pretty flat.
It was pretty flat,
Yeah.
right? But
you didn't lose anything.
Gold did 20% better than the S&P.
That's exactly right.
Better than NASDAQ.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
So if you had a portion of your assets in gold and silver, you would feel, okay, maybe I got hit on my stocks, but I didn't get hit on my gold.
Right. I at least have something to keep playing with.
And you still have that gold.
Yeah.
Beyond the fact of whether gold goes up over time, we know it does. $35 in 1971, over 1920 now.
Yeah.
We know what gold does over time. But you have the security of having a real asset. And that security, how much is that worth?
Yeah.
Right? How much is that worth to know that you have an asset the government can't touch, can't get to, it can't crumble with the stock market, it can't be just erased out of existence by money printing. And how much of value is that? I think a lot.
I agree. I totally agree. And we're talking about the China and the gold. Well, there's a lot of talk over in Davos, and I kind of touched on this yesterday. There's a lot of talk. I mean, look, earlier this month, New York Fed, what's his name? Zoltan Pozsar, former New York Fed Pozsar. He wrote one of his most important reports in 2022, in which he described how Putin could unleash the hell on Western financial system, and all he has to do is demand that instead of dollars, Russian oil exporters are paid in gold. And so that would effectively peg oil to gold and launch petrogold. Well, they're already talking in Davos. Saudi's guys are already talking about doing away with the dollar. They don't want the petrodollar anymore. They're tired of being dominated by the dollar. So they want a little more freedom. They want to get out from underneath it, but yet then again, they don't want to destroy the petrodollar altogether. So they're kind of like on the fence. I was listening to it yesterday. I listened to him yesterday, and he was like, well, we want to be here, but we want to be here too. It's like we want our cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
But, and then you've got China President Xi, whose visit with Saudi and these GCC leaders marked the birth of the petro-yuan. So now, do they have a petrodollar and a petro-yuan? A Chinese petrodollar. So
China's got a whole host of their own problems.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think they want to go to a petro-yen.
Oh yeah, no, they're talking about this.
Yeah.
And think about it. China's doing a lot of gold right now, and that's why I'm telling you. You think about it. China can now have this special relationship and with the plus signs and OPEC and Russia. but with Iran and all the OPEC as well, and all, they could easily do it with gold.
Yeah.
Think about
Yeah.
it.
No.
It could easily be exchanged with gold.
Yeah, if they had some form of gold-backed currency. But that's the thing. See, one crappy fiat currency is just as bad as the other. You have one crappy
True, but if
fake currency, but the currencies that I think what's probably driving them is the fact that they think the currency might have some backing with gold. People don't want just a crappy fiat currency that has no value, that can be printed out of thin air, that can be devalued. The Chinese do that all the time.
Yeah,
devalue their currency.
Think about it. I've said this over and over.
If it's in gold, then it's like, okay, I know I have a real asset. These guys are not dumb.
Andy, I've said it over and over that we're going to wake up one morning and we're going to find out that the bottom of the dollar has dropped out over in Asia. Yeah. And the dollar just is getting weaker and weaker. It's starting to lose its footing. We're hearing more and more about the central bank's digital currency. You had Bank of America come out the other day talking about the CBDCs. And not only that, we got a hell of a war still going on with Russia and Ukraine. And now you've got actual Ukraine fighters training to fight, training how to use those tanks and everything that are going to be sent over to Ukraine. We have them in Wisconsin right now at the bases. We have Ukrainian military here in the United States right now. And on top of that, you've got Putin surrounding Moscow, Russia now, because they're afraid that NATO and the Western alliance are going to invade Russia. So Moscow, on January the 19th, an ally of President Vladimir Putin, warned that NATO on Thursday that a defeat of Russia in Ukraine could trigger a nuclear war. While the head of the Russian Orthodox Church said the world would end if the West tried to destroy Russia. Now, you think about it. They're bringing in these major tanks. They're bringing in a lot of artillery. I pray that that's something, intended to deter the U.S.-led NATO military alliance from getting even more involved in the war on the eve of the meeting of Ukraine's allies to discuss sending Russia more weapons. I mean, I just don't know what to think of all this. And, Russia might lose on the battlefield, which would mark a rare moment of public doubt from a prominent member of Putin's inner circles, is what they're saying. And the defeat of a nuclear power in a conventional war may trigger this nuclear war. And this is what Dmitry Medvedev says, who serves as deputy chairman of Putin's powerful Security Council. And he said this in a post in Telegram. And nuclear powers have never lost major conflicts on which their fate depends, said Medvedev, who served as president from 2008 to 2012. So I just pray that they don't try to invade Russia. Russia's still saying, well, look, we want to make amends. We want to end this war. But we want, we have certain things that we want.
I think Russia has very reasonable.
Ukraine is saying we aren't listening.
Yeah, I think Russia has pretty reasonable demands about now wanting NATO to expand and have weapons right on their border. Well, to me that's pretty reasonable.
Medvedev said that NATO and other defense leaders are due to meet at Ramstein Air Base in Germany this Friday to talk about strategy and support for the West's attempt to defeat Russia in Ukraine. And he said they should think about the risk of their policy. So I got a feeling that we're going to be hearing a lot more soon. We're going to start. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it. They've already been sending out pamphlets on what to do if a nuclear strike were to happen, like the winds and
Yeah.
stay away from the windows. Have you seen these things?
You mean the thing from New York?
Yeah, and not just New York. They're talking about everywhere now, Alaska, all these different things.
Yeah, that's very encouraging.
Hey, I know I switch a lot and I go back and forth and I do a lot of things, but I have just a little bit of time to get things in because I got to get back on the phones, talk to my clients now and new clients as well. But CNN was never one to talk down about the Bidens or the Biden family, right? Biden or the Biden family. Well, CNN actually turned on Joe Biden, and they reported, and the exact words were reporting on the Biden crime family.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And I just want to share a little bit of it. The green light has been given to now go after Joe Biden. Remember we said that something's going on, and CNN now has turned on Joe Biden. And last week it was revealed that Joe Biden improperly stored stolen classified documents at his private house or his private office and his Delaware home, his home in Delaware. And the deep state now is going after Joe Biden to stop his 2024 presidential bid. And CNN is actually starting to report on the Biden crime family. And Jake Tapper this past Sunday criticized Joe Biden for storing classified documents in his garage next to his Corvette. And CNN reported on the House GOP investigation into the Biden crime family and actually admitted that Joe Biden's family was profiting off of the Biden's name. Can you believe? This was CNN. And while Joe Biden swears by his name in politics, his son and his two brothers spent years trying to benefit from the Biden name, CNN reported. And CNN's review of Hunter's laptop data as other public material shows that Joe Biden did interact with some of his son's associates while serving as vice president. And CNN reported that on Tuesday night. And last year, Senators Grassley and Johnson produced records showing that Hunter Biden and James Biden, Joe's brother, received hundreds of thousands of dollars from companies linked to the communist Chinese government. And notably, Hunter Biden's firm, Owasco, actually took money from the CEFC, an energy company that is effectively an arm of the Chinese Communist Party. And Hunter Biden, he worked with Gong Wang Dong and Yi Jiming. Both men are linked to the Chinese Communist Party. I'm not sure if I said that name right. But on August the 8th of 2017, $5 million was wired from the CEFC, which is an affiliated investment vehicle, Northern International, to the bank account for Hudson West III, which spent the next year transferring $4,790,375 million directly to Hunter Biden's firm, Owasco. So Grassley then produced records showing Hunter Biden was paid $100,000 a month, and James Biden was paid $65,000 a month, and Hunter would be paid a one-time retainer fee of $500,000, $500,000.
Not bad.
Now this was all being reported on CNN, y'all, and this is on top of the money Hunter Biden made sitting on the board of Burisma Holdings, which is a corrupt, we all know, Ukraine natural gas company. And CNN has been silent on the Biden family for, the most part, but it appears now that they've been given the green light to go after what they call quid pro Joe. So, Andy, why now? What's going on? Yesterday, what was her name? The Jean Paris?
Yeah.
She identified Kamala as president Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did hear it, and it is interesting that it's happening now because these stories have been in the conservative media for a good 2 years, maybe 3 years, about Burisma, about the Chinese
Yeah.
government involvement, about flying when he flew to China and he came back with the $1.5 billion investment, um, and the 10% to the big guy. We've known about this for quite a long time, and now
The big guy.
now CNN is bringing it up. It does kind of look like they are pushing him out. It looks like obviously this has been known for a long time, and we know how compromised Biden is and how corrupt the
Who do
Biden
you
crime
think?
family is.
Who do you think, Andy? Okay, so let me share this with you, and then let's talk about this. So this past Sunday, this coming Sunday, she says the president will. This is what Karine Jean-Pierre says. This is what she said yesterday. She said this Sunday, the president will speak about the fight to secure women's fundamental to reproductive health care in the face of these attacks. Karine Jean-Pierre said, referring to Kamala Harris. She said she will talk about what's at stake for millions of women across the country. Oh, breaking news.
Oh.
Alec Baldwin and Hannah Gutierrez Reed will be charged with involuntary manslaughter in the fatal shooting of the Rust film set. So Alec Baldwin is going to be charged now with manslaughter.
I think he should be.
Yeah, I think he should be too. Anyway, so she goes on and she says she will talk about what's at stake for millions of women across the country, and most importantly, the need for Congress to codify the protections of Roe into law.
Yeah, that
ain't happening with the controlled GOP house, I can tell you.
Joe Biden calls Kamala Harris the president all the time, because he obviously is, his mind is, scrambled eggs, but
who would be our vice president? Who do you think would
I think they would bring in like a Hillary Clinton or
I'll tell you who I think.
Obama,
you know who I think they would bring in?
Gavin Newsom, maybe?
Nah, I think it would be Hakeem Jeffries.
No.
Oh, yeah. Listen,
Andy,
think about it.
No.
They were going to bring him in as House Speaker.
No, I know, but they have him in line as House Speaker.
No,
right?
No. I'm telling you.
They don't want to take him out of that because then they won't have anybody for Speaker.
Well, they already have. Listen, they can do whatever the hell they want. Look, just
I know,
think
but he's very.
Andy,
they have him in line for Speaker.
Andy, think about this for a minute.
He's not going from Speaker.
I wouldn't even doubt if Hakeem Jeffrey runs in 2024 for President of the United States.
No. It's going to be there.
He is Obama written all over.
It's either going to be Michelle Obama, Gavin Newsom. These are their stars. It was Cuomo. Now Cuomo's trashed. But
you've been sleeping with the windows open too much.
Gavin Newsom went to Florida.
Andy.
He traveled to Florida.
Andy,
talking about
So you think they'd bring Gavin Newsom in as vice president with Kamala? Oh, that would be just. That would just be.
I think they would bring in Gavin Newsom.
My God!
And then 2024.
So who would become the governor of California if Gavin Newsom became the vice president?
I don't know. Who cares? I mean, does it matter?
Oh, I live in California. I just wonder.
I know it doesn't matter.
Who would be the next in line? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think that Hakeem Jeffries, that speech that he gave, I think that Hakeem Jeffries. You would have two African. I don't know why he's calling. Who this person is calling? Yes.
It's like Kermit's friend.
What kind of comment?
We got to call in.
Oh, you think I'm far out there with the Hakeem Jeffries scenario?
I agree. Thank you very much. Not going to be Hakeem.
You don't agree with it?
Gavin Newsom.
He said he did agree with me.
Oh, he did?
He did agree with me.
I don't know.
And I got to tell you, I think so. Because think about it.
They have him they want him there in the house.
Two African Americans, plus you've got Kamala Harris, who's also Chinese, I think, some kind of Asian in her.
She's Indian, and then I think her dad was Caribbean.
So is Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, I think
She was Pocahontas.
right,
She was
right.
related to Pocahontas. Something like that, right?
She's one. She's one.
Hey, do you follow? Let me ask you a question.
1/1500th Native American
Let me
Indian.
ask you. Do you follow any of this Santos stuff that's going? The
I haven't,
Republican
I
from
mean,
New York.
loosely. I haven't been following it very
This
closely.
guy ran. He worked for a company that stole money. I don't know the whole story, but anyway, now they want to get into his finances. He wrote checks. He's like the bi-gender thing that worked for a person that worked. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say thing. The bi-gender. No, how do you say it?
Non-binary.
Non-binary. Bi-gender. I don't know.
The non-binary luggage.
You know, I got to tell you, I was talking to a client last night, and we were talking, and it's like we're all in this. You know, we're both in our 60s. You know, in our 60s, not 60, but 60s. And we were talking, and it's like, I said to her, I said, Michelle, I said, did you hear about? They're going to start putting like stuff that women use for menstrual. They're going to start putting that in the boys' bathroom. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm like, can you believe? I mean, we had boys' rooms and girls' rooms in our school, and if the boys got caught going into the girls' room, guess what? You get your ass kicked. You get in trouble, suspended. You know, you also get in trouble. You get in a lot of trouble nowadays. Holy moly, man. Not only can you go into a girl's bathroom or a boy's bathroom, but now they have menstrual stuff in the boy's bathroom. Hey, if you want to smoke weed in there and get high too, you just roll up a joint. It's legal. You smoke your pot, do all your different things. The hell's this country going to? This world. Like we said the other day, the swamp is not just here. The swamp is the world. And I guess we just have to adapt to learn how to live in this swamp. Is that what it is?
It appears to be.
We have to be like a chameleon.
With the World Economic Forum, an attempt at a world government, which is really the world swamp.
Own nothing.
Yeah.
They want you to own nothing. It's just insane. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. Tell your friends about it. Like us on Rumble. Like us on the other thing on YouTube or on Reddit, Twitter, all these different channels now are platforms right now. And I got word that coming in Friday.
Oh, the screen. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. Anyway, God bless every single one of you. Give us a call. Yeah, Romeo, we're about to give us a call. 800-753-8534. That is a call center. Don't hang up on those people. They're just doing their job. Just tell them you want to talk to somebody here at United Gold Group, and they will immediately put us in touch with you. And then also, if you don't want to talk to them, you can give me a call in the office direct at 323-380-5485. I enjoyed today's show.
So did I.
Rob, he gets mad at me. He starts screaming at me. Yesterday, he was telling me I was wrong. I kind of agree. I agree with him somewhat, but these tokens and the crypto, and by the way, the crypto's going back down today, I heard. It's going back downtown.
Yeah.
It's going back to the basement like Biden.
One thing I think a lot of people miss with investments is they don't take a long enough time horizon in looking at their investments. You want to take at least a
you know what it is, Andy? People try to get rich quick.
Yeah, you don't.
And that's a mistake in today's life.
You want to think of a long-term, 5-year plan, 10-year plan for your investments. You don't want this to be something you're worried about every single day. You take a long-range view, and if you do that, then you'll ride out the daily ups and downs a lot better, and you'll have the big picture in mind. So when you invest in something and it goes down a little bit, and if it's a good investment, what do? You buy more.
Yeah.
If it's a good, solid investment with good fundamentals, you buy more because you're getting a discount.
Right.
right?
Right.
So that's what you do because you know in the long term, I know gold's going to go up long term, right?
Yeah.
If you were worried in 1971, if you were worried that gold went from $35 and now it's down to $34, oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I'm going to buy more, and you use that as an opportunity. Take a long-term view. Don't take a short-term get rich quick. I want to make some money. It's not a trend. This is a way to preserve wealth. This is long-term, and this is the way very successful investors think. They
Yeah.
take a longer-term time horizon. It's not about, oh, my stock's down. Oh, I may make a little money here. No, it's just a long-term way to protect your wealth for you and your family and for the next generation as well.
I've always said, Andy, there's always been a saying that I've said. I'm like, yeah, a lot of people, if you worry about if you worry about money or any other thing, you're never going to have it because you're always worrying about it.
Right.
If you just let it flow,
Mhm.
it'll happen, and you won't have to worry about it. And
Very true.
not everybody, has 100,000, 50,000, 10,000, not even 1,000. But you can start with something, and we're here to help you. We have another side of our company, which is called BM Bullion, which we actually bmbullion.net, which you can actually buy a couple $100 worth or even $50 worth. Whatever.
Start with some silver.
Yeah.
Silver is a great price right now. Get yourself some silver.
Yeah.
Silver coins are beautiful to own, and the price is great right now. Silver is not going to be this cheap for much longer.
Whatever you want, we can help you, and that's what we're here for. And we're not like a lot of the other naysayers out there that want to just take half your account before you. We're getting comments, Andy, as we're talking
right.
here. Let's see what this comment is. Right, all right. This is coming from one of our listeners out there. She probably can hear me right now. Christine Egger wants to know how you look so young, brother. I don't know. Good genes. I don't do dope. I don't
get enough sleep.
I do get a lot of sleep.
Hey, that's important.
Do you know I'm in bed? Me and Romeo here.
Yeah.
We're in bed because I wake up at 4. I'm like Grandpa. I'm in bed before 7:30, 8 o'clock.
That's actually that's the best way to go.
Watching the helicopters. So there you go. That, and here's another one. We got another one.
Keep them coming.
They keep coming. I know this ain't on no volume. It reminded me not to lose my lot volume. Okay, that was yesterday.
Oh.
No, this is coming today too. I don't know. There's volume. People can hear us. I don't know. Turn up your hearing aid. No, just look. I appreciate that, by the way. I'm speechless. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't consider. I think I look old. I keep thinking I look older and older and older. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I appreciate that. Thank you. Anyway,
there's a line from the Bible that says, "A merry heart does good like a medicine."
What scripture is that in?
It's in, I think it's in Proverbs.
Proverbs. I got to look that one up.
A merry heart does good like a medicine.
Merry heart does good like a medicine.
Yeah. So if you're happy,
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
I mean, we all know it's true
That's really cool.
that if you're happy and you have a happy spirit, that's going to affect in your life. We know that's the mind-body relationship.
How about my favorite one, and a lot of my clients know it because I repeat it all the time. It's now faith is the substance of things hoped for, yet evidence of the things not seen. In Hebrews 11:1. It's one of my favorite ones, and I do my best to live by my faith. But so many things, people try to tear down your faith all the time, and you just got to stay strong with it. And even one of my clients out there that just messaged me, another one out there messaged me, she gave me a coin, and I want you to know I still have that coin. And that coin, in fact, it's in my other jeans. I usually carry it with me every day, but I took it out last night, or it's still in those other jeans. But she put on the back of that coin, it says faith.
Nice.
In God we trust, and then the back it says faith. And it's the most beautiful thing that I treasure. And I thank Gail for that, by the way. Anyway, listen, I've talked enough. We got to get busy. It's a long day today again. God bless every single one.